Good evening, everyone. My name is Brandon Lee, and I am in Craig Morris's Applied Ethics class. My paper that I am doing for this Unit 10 is paper versus plastic. Which one is better for the environment? The question presented before you today is paper grocery bags versus plastic grocery bags, and which one creates the least environmental damage? Each one is going to impact the environment in one way or another, but this essay is to help decide which one is the best, or in some cases the lesser of all evils. Excuse me. Imagine you're at the checkout store. You're at the checkout line in the grocery store, and the bagger asks you one very simple question. Would you like paper or plastic today? Which one do you choose? And what are the environmental implications of your choice? At first glance, we might conclude that the paper bag is the way to go because it's biodegradable. Paper came from trees, so odds are it's going to go back into the ground and be recyclable. That isn't always the case. There's a lot of fuel that needs to be burned, a lot of processes involved in creating paper from the trees. The process involves a few simple steps. The first step, of course, is to cut down trees, cut those trees down into wood chips. Then the wood chips are then cooked and compressed at a high temperature, pressurized. Then the wood fibers separate from the glue that hold the wood fibers together and create what is called a pulp. The pulp is then, I guess you'd say, cleaned multiple times. It is then pumped into a moving screen where it is agitated and more of the water will come out. Excuse me. This now watery pulp is on this vibrating screen, removing some of the water. The sheets will then pass through more rollers to remove more of the water, and finally go into some heated drums to dry the paper, and finally wound onto rolls at the end of the machine and removed for processing for somebody else. As far as making plastic bags, there's not nearly as many steps. It involves the combustion of coal, oil, and fuel, which create a gas called ethylene. This gas is then compressed and processed into chains of molecules called polyethylene, and then from there it's compressed down into pellets and sent off to the plastic manufacturer. Once to that manufacturer, the plant melts and molds these pellets into long sheets of what we call polythene. These sheets are then cut into desired lengths. The two lengths are kind of stacked on top of each other and sent to another piece of machinery where they are sealed on the top and on the bottom, creating our plastic bag. The cost effectiveness, or the costs associated with paper and plastic bags, the retail cost roughly for paper bags is roughly 11 cents per bag, and the plastic bags you're looking anywhere between 5 and 6 cents, so there's about a double the price difference. Excuse me. Basically, this paper shows us how to go about the process of the paper, the recycling of the paper, and which paper would be the best choice. One thing that has kind of been stuck in my mind is the whole reduce, reuse, recycle. One thing that we need to do is reuse plastic bags and paper bags, A couple things that we could reuse paper bags for are art projects for children, or in my favorite case, it is a cookie cooling and display shelf on the table once we make chocolate chip cookies. Unfortunately, the plastic bag can't cool and display warm cookies as well as the paper, but it too has its own reuse options. It functions very well as an animal cleanup bag, or for that quick little garbage run out of your car. It'll work perfect for that. When we take time to look at all the pieces side by side, we get a better view of what we're looking at. Going off of the information that I have, the question still remains, which bag is better for the environment? Either choice is going to burn fuel and is going to use water and possibly end up in places where it doesn't belong. Based on what I have found in my research, I have decided that the plastic bag is better due to the fact that it does not take as much energy to create it, and it does not waste as much water when it is created. Once again, thank you. My name is Brandon Lee, and have yourself a great week.